Every single game should have a VR option. A VR mode that can be toggled on that allows you to play either a portion of the game in virtual reality or ideally the entire game in virtual reality. Hello, oh my god, why did you do that? Bugger off. Get out of here. Get out of here. Whenever I choose to play a game on my PC or on my PS5, the first thing I should see when I open that game is a pop-up that says, do you want to play this game in VR? That's the future I want to live in. That's where I'd love to get for VR. That doesn't quite fit in the bin. Now you might think that's a pretty crazy pipe dream to have, and it will frankly never come true. Maybe we'll never get to the point where every single game in our Steam or PS5 or maybe one day Xbox libraries will ship with a VR mode attached to them. But what I would say is we're closer now than we've ever been to a reality where we can turn almost any flat screen experience, like Half-Life 2 here, into a fully fleshed out VR game that is genuinely transformational. Now, as someone who's been playing video games their entire life, and I have played way more flat screen games than I have VR games, trust me when I say this, if we give players more options, more choice, and we build more VR modes into more video games, VR's growth will absolutely explode. It will boom. It will go crazy. Maybe not overnight, but it will happen.
Welcome.
And that's because most people haven't played a game like this in VR. Most people who still say VR is a gimmick have never experienced something like this. Oh, a fully fleshed out, immersive, full-length, first-person adventure in virtual reality. Hello? Hello? Oh my word. It is undeniably the future of gaming. Okay, I'm so sorry. I think for most people, breaking through that barrier of VR is just a gimmick is really challenging because most people probably don't know about things like this. They don't know about these amazing VR experiences. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there! Fine. Jesus. Get out. Most people still think VR is Beat Saber, and it's rollercoaster simulators, and it's jump scare horror games. Hey, it's Barney. How's it going, bro?
It's me, Gordon. Barney from Black Mesa.
Even though VR has come on leaps and bounds since those early years, and even just this year alone has made huge strides towards going mainstream, with games like Batman, Metro, and Alien all getting official virtual reality releases, I do think the mainstream, the majority of people, still see VR as a strange, wonky gimmick that doesn't really hold up. I broke that box when compared to traditional flat screen games. So if we add VR modes into all your favorite games and allow players to experience these adventures, these worlds, these locations we know and love with depth, with 3D, with scale, completely surrounding you, completely immersive, more people will just give in to curiosity and test it out. And at that point, the hooks go in. Because it's really, really hard to go back once you've experienced something like this in VR. Why did you throw that on the floor? Alright, okay, sorry mate. Here you go. Have it back. Ah, no! Now this is, of course, Half-Life 2. More specifically, this is the Half-Life 2 VR mod. This wasn't created by Valve. This was created by a team of modders, and this is the level of quality you can now come to expect from a lot of VR games in 2024. Now, I still remember seeing the initial reveal trailer for Half-Life 2 way back, all those years ago when I was just a small child, and it absolutely blew my mind. I remember Gordon Freeman breaking all the wood and thinking, games can never get better than this. We've reached the pinnacle. Look at all these physics. Look at these destructible environments. Look at how this game works. Look at how it looks. And then I actually played the game back on PC when it launched, and it blew my mind even more. It changed the way I think about video games. It's such a impactful and important video game, I think, for so many people. And it's still one of my favourites to this very day. But now, whenever I'm not playing it and I think about this game, I think about playing it in VR. In my memory, I am Gordon Freeman, and I am killing all of these zombies. I am going on this adventure myself. Oh! I'm no longer just piloting around a character that I am invested in, but I don't feel truly connected to. Ah! No! No! Oh, that's too many. That's too many. That's too many. That's just going to blow up. The whole room's going to blow up. Okay, so you might be thinking, that's all very well and good. Yes, we understand that VR modes are more immersive, and of course they're going to be more memorable because you've lived that experience. But how easy is it to turn a flat game into a VR game? Surely that takes months, years of dedicated resources and a team who understands what they're doing to achieve the highest quality results. Now, starting with Half-Life 2 was a little bit sneaky because that is one of the very best VR mods we currently have, and it wasn't made by Valve. Valve didn't make that. That was made by a team of modders. It was a passion project for them, and now it is available for free on Steam. But my counterpoint to surely it's going to take years to make a fully fleshed out VR experience for any game would be this: Silent Hill 2 Remake. Now, this game has only been out for a month, maybe 2 months, and modders have made this: a fully fleshed out first-person VR mod that has motion controls that are so accurate I can knock out windows like that, and I can fight enemies, and where I hit them, they will react to my hits. See? Don't spit on me! Ah, don't spit on me! Take that in the leg! In the leg! Get down! Stay down, stay down, stay down! I mean, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! This was made by, essentially, one person. One very talented person, nonetheless, but one person set out to turn a third-person, over-the-shoulder, survival horror action-adventure game into a first-person, fully motion-controlled, smooth locomotion VR experience, and they did it in, I think, under 2 months. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't perfect. It does have some jank, and it is quite hard to run. You do need a pretty beastie PC to run this experience. But look at the results in just 2 months. Look at the results. It is undeniable how impactful this is on a game like Silent Hill 2 that was never meant to be played in VR. This experience feels completely transformational and is giving me, someone who's been a lifelong fan of this franchise, just so many feelings and so many core memories that will now be burnt into my brain. When I think of Silent Hill 2, I'll think about how I actually lived it, and how I walked these streets, and how I broke that car window, and that car window, and that car window. That's the power of VR. So yes, this is a little bit janky, but this is 2 months' work, or under 2 months' work. What happens when you apply the same one person, the same single modder, to a project for more than 2 months? What kind of results do you get then? Well, I can show you that as well. Die, you horrible bum thing. Look at your bum sticking up in the air. Don't put your bum in the air at me like that. I don't want to see it. Now, we've all seen this before, haven't we? This is what more than 2 months looks like. This is what a modder building a VR framework around a specific game engine looks like. This is, of course, Resident Evil 2, the remake, in VR. Yeah, pull that. Nice. Now that genuinely incredible looking Silent Hill 2 VR mod has a lot in common with this Resident Evil 2 VR mod. For one, they're both built by the same person. One incredibly talented modder poured hundreds of hours of hard work, sweat and tears into building the Resident Evil VR framework, which allows us to play Resi 2, Resi 3, Resi 7 and Resi Village, all with full motion controls and incredibly immersive full body rigs in VR on PC. That very same modder also poured in hundreds of hours of hard work to create the UEVR mod, the Unreal Engine VR framework. A piece of software that allows anyone, even me, even you, to turn an Unreal Engine 4 or Unreal Engine 5 game that is traditionally flat screen into a VR experience using this tool that he's created. And the extent of that tool, and just how powerful that tool is, can be seen in the work he's just completed with Silent Hill 2 VR. Now I guess what I'm getting at here is making a VR mode for a flat screen game has left the realms of that's impossible and entered very firmly into the realms of this is something we can do, and it's not going to take us hundreds of thousands of pounds to develop, and it's not going to take us months and months and months and years and years and years to get right. Ah! He's alive! He's alive! Stay dead! Stay dead! Technically, they're all dead. Now, of course, there is a massive difference between a fully licensed official VR port and a VR mod, but you can't argue with the results when the results are this good, and this has been created by one single modder. One person built this. If this was an option on the menu screen of Resident Evil 2 proper on PlayStation and PC, you kind of have to believe that people would be curious and they would jump into it and they would check it out. But because it's a mod, it's a little bit harder to sell, because it's buried away online and only those who are terminally online or connected to the VR ecosystem know about these things. But if it was built into the game, and it should be built into the game, people would check it out. I only have a knife! I only have a knife! Don't eat me! Don't eat me! He's eating me! He's eating me! That's what you get! That's what you get! That's what you get! Yeah! Yeah! I chopped his leg off! I chopped both his legs off! Whoa! I didn't realise I could chop his legs off. That's amazing. His legs are off now. Now, before I offend anyone, the point of this video isn't to say that playing games flat screen or sitting on your sofa at the end of a long, hard day and relaxing with a video game with a controller in your hand, watching it on a big TV, is the wrong thing to do, or an inherently worse thing to do than playing games in VR. 99.9% of people just want to relax, and that's what gaming is for them. They want to sit down, they want to play their favourite game, and they don't want to have to exert themselves. They don't want to have to burn any more energy, and VR is more energetic. You do burn more calories, you are standing up and moving around. So I get it. I still play a ton of flat screen games, and loads of people assume that I wouldn't because I run a VR channel. But the truth is, most nights I will load into something, either on my PC or PS5, and I'll sit and play it flat screen, because that's how I unwind, that's how I relax, and I don't think that will ever change. However, one thing that is absolutely undeniably true for me is the fact that games like this, games like Resident Evil 4 Remake on PS5, have been forever changed by the existence of a VR mode. Once I played the VR mode for this game, the flat screen version felt flat, less exciting, less exhilarating, less scary, and lacked all sense of urgency, because now I severely feel the disconnect between myself and the character I'm piloting around on the screen. Yes, I am playing as Leon. Yes, these villagers could catch me right now and they could kill me. But I don't feel as scared as I did when I played this game in VR. Because in VR, I am Leon. And the attacks feel so much more visceral. They feel so much more realistic. They feel so much more immersive. They're in my face. Those things are happening to me. And burnt into my memory is these villagers approaching me. Not approaching a player on a screen or a character on a screen, but approaching me. And that is so different. Let's just compare, shall we? Okay, here I am again in the exact same section, only this time we're playing it in VR. Now, before I go over there and start shooting all of those demons right in the face, I have to say something. VR content creation and showcasing VR in general is really, really hard. Because for you at home watching this video on a flat screen on YouTube, this kind of looks the same as what you just saw. Yes, I'm now playing in first person, and yes, I can wave the gun around however I like, but to you, this is still just a flat screen representation of the game, and it doesn't do VR justice at all. That is the biggest issue with VR. It makes it really hard to sell in just flat screen videos alone, so people like me have to talk a lot. One thing that VR does really well, which it's really hard to showcase in flat screen videos, is make the player appreciate all the small details that go into building a game and building an environment. I can spend hours looking at all the smallest details on the weapons, the hands, and the environment around me in VR, things I wouldn't normally spend any time looking at in third person on a flat screen. The second thing that is almost impossible to gauge on a flat screen video is the sense of scale, presence, and distance that VR gives you. I know exactly how far away that building is. I know exactly how far away that woman is, and I know how hard I'd have to throw something to hit her in the head. Even the worst VR games give you that sense of presence. You know exactly how big the environment is and how far away everything is within that environment. And thirdly, and probably most importantly, in VR you have much more control over everything you do within the game. In Resident Evil 4 Remake, for example, if I want to reload, it's a button press. In here, I have to unclip the mag, grab a new mag, slam it into my gun. That adds a whole other dimension of terror when we're in the middle of a gunfight. My knife is something I can dual wield. This isn't a button press, this isn't something I need to switch to, it's a physical knife. And if I want to parry someone, I'm relying on my own timing, my own reflexes, and my own ability to react in time, rather than just pressing one button on a controller. Resi 4 is an amazing game, whether you play it flat or in VR, but this is why the VR version has completely replaced my memories of the flat version. Because when I'm in here, I really am Leon Kennedy. Whoa! Jeez, see what I mean? That's kind of terrifying. Get out of here, you. I'm going to kick you in the face. Ah, none of that. Oh, two parries. Double parry. Come on, come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, parried his arms off. Can you parry people's arms? I guess you can. I need bullets. I need bullets. I need bullets. Okay, okay, okay. I think there's a gun in this house. I'm almost certain there's a shot. Oh, there it is. Let me get in there. Ah, give me that. Give me that. Hello? Don't you dare come in that window, you cheeky sausage. Let's get out here. Jump, jump, jump. Now, there's just no way you could tell me or convince me that this isn't better than playing the game flat screen. This is so unbelievably intense. Oh, I'm getting off this roof right now. Ah! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Oh, the cow's gonna go on fire! Oh, the cow's definitely on fire! Get out of here! Yeah! Stay back! Anyone else? Oh, I don't like the big chainsaw man. Stop it! Stop looking at me! Yeah, get back! Who are you swinging at, you freak? Get out of here! Get out of here! Oh no! 3 bullets, make them count. Oh, that's far more people than 3 people! Good job I can hit a bunch in one go. Oh, the bells are a-tolling. I'm still going to kill you, though. I don't care about the bells. Now, if you don't know that the VR version of Resident Evil 4 Remake exists, or maybe you've just never played it, then this section, this village fight sequence, is one of the most exhilarating, heart-pounding, thrilling, and terrifying fight sequences in all of gaming. It's one of my favourite moments in any action horror game ever. But the second I played it in VR, on PSVR 2, I knew I could never go back. I'm so sorry, chicken. I feel bad immediately as soon as I do that. Now, I will say, Resident Evil 4 Remake is that game for me. If I wasn't already completely enamored with VR, this would have been the game that won me over. I do believe that everyone has that game, and that game has the ability to make people who don't love VR understand just how cool it is. But then once you've found your game, the game that opens your eyes to the possibilities of VR, VR has this incredible ability to make you play games you would never normally play just because they're in VR. I am not typically a fan of racing games or driving sims. If I have a few moments of spare time to unwind with a video game, I never reach for a driving game. I never reach for a racing game. But Gran Turismo on PS5 with the PlayStation VR 2 absolutely changed that for me. This game is phenomenal. In my personal opinion, this is a system seller. This is a PSVR 2 headset seller. Everyone who owns a PS5 should seriously consider buying a PSVR 2 just to play this game. I don't like racing games, but the PSVR 2 and Gran Turismo made me love a racing game. I absolutely adore Gran Turismo. Now, before you come for me for playing with a controller, I actually went out and bought a whole wheel and pedals setup for this game, but I've been filming for like 6 hours to get footage for this video, so I'm being lazy and playing with a controller, and I'm playing standing up, which is very, very weird. Look how phenomenal this game is. Not only does it look absolutely stunning, it's one of the best, one of the best looking PSVR 2 games I've ever seen. One of the best VR games, I think, on the market right now, but it's all the small details, it's all the things I can't truly show you on a flat video. You have to just take my word for it. The fact that I can see my competitors closing in on me in my wing mirror there is insane, and again, my brain knows how far away they are. I can see them here in my rearview mirror. If I wanted to, I could turn around and look at them out the back window. Now, I truly do believe that every single video game should have a VR mode, but if we can't achieve that, at the very least, every single racing game, every single driving game should have a VR mode as standard. Sony should be saying to all developers who are making racing games for their platform, you need to be shipping that with a PSVR 2 mode built into the game at launch. Because this is system selling material, and if Gran Turismo can sell me, a guy who doesn't like racing games, on the concept of racing in VR, if you add it to all games, the potential is endless. Just give me a Burnout game in VR already. Who owns the rights to that? Can you just do it, please? Another perfect example of a game I wouldn't typically play unless I could play it in VR, and certainly another game I shouldn't play standing up because this is really weird, is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, this is a stunning game in VR, one of my favourite games in VR, but it's not something I ever would reach for or ever would sit down to play if I was playing it flat screen. It just doesn't appeal to me. It's a very intricate and realistic simulator, and certain people absolutely love that. They clamour for that. This is their favourite kind of game, a game where you can hop into any plane you want and fly a real-time flight from the UK to Australia with real-time weather and real-time photogeometry of the cities you're flying into and around. This is Toronto, Canada, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's not for me personally, but in VR, yeah, I'll sit and play this for hours. I'll sit and play it for hours because it is stunning. Although the plane is shouting at me right now, so you can tell that I'm not actually good at these games. I'm just sightseeing. Don't worry about it, game. Let me fly how I want to fly. So yeah, this is a perfect example of a game that's completely transformed by VR. I wouldn't normally play it, but I know so many people who aren't really into simulation games or flight sim games who play this game a ton. Because it's so gorgeous, it's so immersive, it's so awe-inspiring. It is a game that looks fantastic flat screen, but put it into VR and it is one of the most breathtaking experiences you can have with a video game. Oh my god, look at that. I am banking. I am probably going to crash. A stunning game looks more stunning in VR. That is the bottom line. I don't want to crash into whatever that is, that big horrible needle. I don't like that. Let's dodge it. Let's just go past the needle. Oh, we made it past the needle. But it isn't just breathtaking simulators that VR enhances. Oh no! If something's scary, it's way scarier in VR. Now, Alien Isolation is a scary game at the best of times, but playing it in VR is almost masochistic. This thing is terrifying. This game benefits so much from being in virtual reality. And this is a little bit different from every other game I've showed you today, because this was originally supposed to be an official mode. Official support for VR was supposed to be built into Alien Isolation. The devs were working on it, but... Oh! Already? Why are you here already? Burn, bitch! Go away! Leave me! Leave me be! As I was saying, the devs... Oh, they're dead. The devs were working on this in an official capacity. Oh god, this is horrible! Why are you back? Oh no, not like this! This is going to be the shortest segment of this video, isn't it? As I was saying, the devs were making an official... Good lord! An official VR mode for Alien Isolation. Oh! But they decided not to finish it. I guess the power of VR at that point in time didn't warrant them making it. It was probably too costly, and they didn't think enough people would play it. I am just guessing. I don't know that for sure. Oh, Jesus Christ, I hate you so much, you bitch! You bitch! I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. So the devs didn't finish the planned VR mode. It never happened officially. Oh, God. Ugh. But a modder stepped in, completed what they could complete, and released it as a free add-on for the game called the Mother VR mod. And it is genuinely incredible. Once again, one of the best experiences you can have in VR if you have a PC and a VR headset that can run this game. It's phenomenal, but it is not for the faint-hearted. Everything is heightened in VR. Once again, it's hard to convey to you exactly what I'm experiencing, but I have a full understanding in here playing this of just how big that xenomorph is. I have an understanding of just how fast it moves. It doesn't look like it looks like on a flat screen. On flat screen, yes, it does look big, but in here, I fully understand that this is an 8-foot-tall alien from the movie Alien. Don't do it! I'm burning you to death every time! I now have no bloody flamethrower fuel left, so I'm gonna die. Is that flamethrower fuel? Yay! Yay! Little bit of safety. Just a little bit of Hello? Hello there, cutie pie. Come on. Come on. I just want to see you now. I want to embrace you. Oh, she looks so good in VR. Oh. Yeah, I'm dead. So at the start of this video, my statement was every game should have a VR mode, some kind of VR support. And then I've shown you loads of games in VR, either mods or official VR releases, that transform the experience and make it really hard, hello, to go back to playing the flat screen game. So I've shown a very one-sided part of the argument, but I do truly believe that even a bad VR experience is transformational and offers something that the flat screen version cannot offer. And to demonstrate that, here is Hitman 3. Even if you're playing the exceptionally janky PCVR version of Hitman 3, where only your right hand does anything and your left hand is just kind of like a prop for show, or if you're playing the overwhelmingly broken and janky Quest 3 version of Hitman 3 VR, which has all the problems of the PC version, but visuals that look like they were from the N64 era, those VR experiences still offer something the flat screen version of Hitman 3 doesn't offer. Take that! Right in your face! Now, Hitman 3 flat screen is undoubtedly, oh my god, a better game. Oh no, come here you! Thank you. It just is. Playing this game in flat screen is a more polished and enjoyable experience. Even right now, I'm encountering weird stuff that's just kind of not working the way it should. But when I think about Hitman, I think about the VR version, because it's done that thing to me. I am Agent 47. I am doing all of these things. I'm dumping this man in this bin. I punched that man in the face. There's still so much fun to be had in even the jankiest, most broken VR product that you can imagine. What happens if I punch you? Oh, he hates it. Have another one. Have another one. Have another one. What have you got on you there? Oh, a gun! I'm going to shoot people. Hello? Oh, no, I feel bad. What's that? A key? Yeah, I'll have it. Oh, no, I won't. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Where's that gun gone? I've actually played Hitman 3 more in VR than I have flat screen, and I know that the flat screen version is just better. But this is so fun. VR just takes it to a different level of playful, enjoyable fun. A toolbox of enjoyment that is unlike anything else. Can I push you over the edge? Yes. Yeah, bye! It's incredible. I can do all this stuff. Oh my god. In flat screen, don't get me wrong. But it's different in VR. Oh, hello! Oh, stay there. Can I have... See, I can't use my left hand for anything. It just serves no purpose. It's just a broken mess. Take that, you. This is the man I need to kill. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Right, well there's one more question I wanted to tackle in this video, and that's, yes, all these modern games look great in VR, but you said every game should have a VR mode. Oh no! What about old games? Games that are completely flat, games from the PS1, games from earlier than the PS1. What about those? And yes, I even mean those games, because even they are incredible in virtual reality. I've killed so many people. Take this! Ah, nearly got him. Ah! Tomb Raider. A game built for the PlayStation 1. A game that should not by rights work in first-person VR with full motion controls and a full body rig, including the triangular boobies. This shouldn't work. It just shouldn't. But it does. Because VR modders believe in how versatile virtual reality can be, and they believe in how transformational the experiences are that VR offers. For the first time ever, I can shoot these stupid wolves before even going down there and getting massacred by them. When I first heard they were doing a mod for Tomb Raider in VR, I honestly thought they'd gone insane. I thought it can't be done. But look at this. Is this not the coolest thing you've ever seen? Graphics that are completely faithful to the original PS1 product. Oh my god! These wolves still mess me up. You're no longer piloting Lara Croft around these environments. Once again, you are becoming that character. And actually exploring these environments. And you even get to face off against dinosaurs in VR. Not just small ones either, big ones too. Get out of my way, you. I'm going to see your dad. There he is. I mean, like, this is crazy. If we can turn a third-person PS1 era, was that 64-bit? I'm not sure. But an old, blocky, pixelated PS1 game into a full motion controlled VR experience, brand new for a whole new generation. Why can't we add it to every modern game? The only correct answer to that question is we can add it to every modern game, and we should, because it will increase VR's popularity and it will increase the curiosity of gamers in general to test out these VR modes, to find out just how immersive and how amazing they are. Because right now, people just don't know. They just don't know that experiences like this exist. Alright, what about Doom? An absolute classic, a video game hall of famer. Even this works excellently in VR. Fully 3D, full scale, full size, full immersion in VR. This is actually one of the first VR mods I ever played, and it completely opened my eyes to just how impactful a VR mod could be. I would have never said to anybody that the original Doom would work in VR. But then I played it, and I realised that I'd been a fool all this time. Any game can work in VR if you have the right team working on that version, or mod, or port, whatever it might be. Every game genuinely could work in VR. Take that! And I'd say that Doom, is actually one of the most moddable and changeable experiences that I've shown today in this video. You can add mods on top of the mods in this to make it even better. I've added these little 3D gun models, and all that gore you just saw dripping from the ceiling. Honestly, I think that Doom might be one of the most valid arguments for all games needing VR modes, because it's just so enjoyable in VR. I think it's so much better in VR. This absolute classic, a game that is so important to all of gaming, but specifically FPS games, is, in my opinion, even better in VR. A way to play that wasn't even conceived or available when this game came out. Because now I can do this. You could never do that originally. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's things like that that you don't really think about until you're in here and you're playing these experiences and you're going, oh my god, yeah, I get it. This is so incredible in VR. Now, I'm going to show you one more example. One game that's even flatter, typically, traditionally, than Doom. A game that, by all rights, should not work in VR. But somehow, the team behind the mod, behind the port, unflattened it and made it a true VR experience that is right up there with the very best VR games that we have on offer right now. Oh, there's too many people! Blow them up, blow them up! Ugh! That's a lot of gore. Oh, no, don't do that, you shit. And that brings us to this. Trombone Champ Unflattened. If you've seen this game in its original form, the original flat screen version of Trombone Champ, you'll know that it is one of the flattest games out there. If you've seen it or played it, you would probably think to yourself, there is no way they could ever turn that into a fully realized 3D immersive VR experience with scale and depth and size. But they have. And that's because if the right team with the right vision and the right tools sets their minds to doing it, any game can become a VR game. I've just realised that it feels like I'm making an impassioned plea to these weird me-faced freaks in the audience, and they're all looking at me with their dead eyes, and that's kind of making me feel a way, so I'm going to wrap this up as quickly as physically possible. VR options and VR modes are easier to obtain and easier to apply to a game now than they ever have been before, thanks to tools like UEVR, and I really do hope that developers grab hold of those tools and start playing with them to see what they could add to their flat screen games in the future. Something like Resident Evil 4 Remake, which is one of my favourite games of all time, is way better in VR in my opinion. Whenever I think about that game, I think about playing it in VR. And I truly believe if you give all players the option to play in flat screen or in VR, more people will let the curiosity win and they'll try out VR on some of their favourite games. And that will show them that it's not just a gimmick, because everyone just needs to experience the right game. Everyone just needs that right VR experience to show them how amazing this medium is. And with that, I'll bid you all farewell. I'm acing this. Come on now, you can't tell me this isn't immersive. Goodbye everyone. Demand VR modes in your flat screen games. It's the least we deserve, and it will change the way you see VR. It's not all roller coaster games and jump scare gimmicks, I promise you.